So shout out to my friend Julia. She is a really fantastic photographer. And I was scrolling through her Instagram feed and I DM'd her. I was like, Julia, these photos are amazing. How on earth do you edit like this? And, you know, instead of having her teach me how to do it, you know, I tried to see if I can emulate these editing styles. So hopefully through this video, we will get really good at identifying what shade the shadows are, the highlights, identifying color temperature, and just really diving deep into the specific colors in each photo. I'm using our photos from our free photo shoots on the parking garage. So I guess let's just jump into it. So starting off with this first one of Julia's photo, we've got this like girl posing with her hand like this, and it has like the sunlight and the harsh shadows. So I didn't want to miss out on the harsh shadows on her face. Starting off, you know, we're just gonna start with the basics, touch up the exposure, the shadows, and the highlights, you know. Make sure we don't lose the richness of her black dress because she is in the harsh sunlight. So then we're gonna go into our color mixer, and this is my favorite part because we get to change how the colors look. Like, how fun is that? Okay, so we're starting off with the blues, and we're gonna make the blues a little bit more on the greener or the turquoise side, and then just bring down the saturation a little bit and the luminance up. We're gonna go to the temperature, and I'm gonna make this slightly cooler because this photo, I noticed it's not very warm toned. It's very, very neutral, almost cool. So if you want, you can add a little bit of a grain. I do really like the grain, just slightly, not too noticeable, but I definitely feel like it adds something to your photos. I'm just making it how I like it. Okay, now we got the fabulous hair flip photo. This one I thought resembled the bridal picture of Julia's pretty well. Maybe it's because they both have flowing brunette hair. So I thought this one would be cool to try it and see if I can emulate the same effect. Except our garage photo shoot, she's backlit instead of taking the photo from where the light is coming from, which is okay because we can work with this, what we have. It's not gonna look identical, but I mean, you do have to be honest with yourself that you didn't take the photo the same way. So you can't fix everything in Lightroom and Photoshop. Okay, so going into the hair flip picture, you know, edit as usual, mess with the lighting, the exposure, and all that. But then I'm just gonna go straight down to our color mixer because, hello, that's the fun part. Mess with the blues just a little bit. I noticed that the blues in this picture, you know, the luminance is up. It's still a bright blue sky. I would say it's slightly on the greener blue side, but not fully turquoise. This is where we're really gonna get into looking deeper into the picture instead of just saying, oh, I really like the way they edited this. Look deeper into the colors and how they might have edited those, because come on, we're professionals here. We're not just gonna pay for presets anymore. Start making your own presets. You know, if you're super professional, you've done this 1,000 times. But if you're a beginner, maybe this is the first time you're hearing this, and that's okay. Messing with the color of the beautiful golden highlights from the sun on her hair and her skin. Okay, I ended up making the shadows slightly, I would call that a good orange yellow. And then same with the highlights, and with the midtones, I made that a little more yellow green, chartreuse maybe. And then just a slight grain to copy this grain look that she has. So then I just mess with the exposure just a little bit more. And here's the finished picture. I really liked how this one turned out because it wasn't exactly the photo that I'm trying to base it on, but I feel like I did a good job of working with it, especially with her being backlit and all that. Okay, so now we got another girl on a parking garage in this beautiful white dress. This one I kind of took the same editing style as this picture of Julia's, which I will enlarge right here. This one is super dreamy. I would almost call it angelic, just because the white clouds with her white dress and how hazy this photo is. I love her editing style in this one. So for this picture, you know, editing as usual. Okay, so in Julia's photo, her model is more pale. And then in this one, we have her in direct sunlight at golden hour, so she does have a natural like golden tone to her, which I don't want to fully lose. Okay, so I'm just bringing the saturation on her skin tone down just a little bit and making sure she's not too orange reddish, and then messing with the luminance, making sure she still looks tan. We don't want to lose that beautiful skin tone she has. Now we're going in the exposure. I don't want to make this overexposed, but we do want this to be light and airy. So that's where we're gonna go in with our highlights and our shadows. A tip I really like to do is I love evening out my photos by bringing the highlights most of the way down and the shadows most of the way up, usually about halfway up. So shadows to like 50%. This makes photos less contrasty without losing the definition. Because if you just bring the contrast down, it makes your photos, if you edit photos, you know what I mean. It doesn't look that great. So I don't like to mess with the contrast that much, and I would prefer to just bring down the highlights and bring up the shadows. Okay, I'm also bringing the color temperature down just a little bit so we lose a little bit more of the warmth from the golden hour shoot. So it's just naturally a cooler photo. Okay, so I brought this down to -20 on the dehaze, and I'm bringing the grain up to about 16 just to give it a little bit of texture. That's all this video is supposed to be about, is being able to look at a photo and think deeper about the color temperatures and what actually went into making this photo. Because if you're gonna be making your own presets, editing all of your photos by yourself instead of buying presets online and having other people edit your photos for you, you gotta do it yourself. And that comes from thinking deeply about the photo that you're looking at and the tones and the highlights and the shades. How warm is it? How cool is it? It's really like reading deeper into photos, which is very nerdy, but very fun. All right, that's all I have for this video. I really hope you guys found it helpful. Go ahead and give Julia a follow. Her Instagram handle is juliaparker.photo on Instagram. She's fantastic, extremely talented. So I hope you guys found this super helpful. If you did, go ahead and subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and look forward to our new videos coming up. All right, bye.